The Black Ember Citadel Modular Pack is exactly that. A highly customizable modular system. You're gonna be able to put a ton of external components and pouches on this thing. You can really customize it to your exact needs, and that's the strong suit of it. Excited to get into this thing, including the pros and cons of the pack. If you haven't been to the channel before, I'm Tom, the founder of Pack Hacker, and we love helping people optimize their travel experience with guides and reviews just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Let's jump into the review. To kick things off, there are two versions of this pack. One is the minimal version, which is basically the same thing as the modular, but there's not as much customizability options on the exterior. And what we have here is the modular system. And besides it being a lot more fun to review since there's a lot more going on, there's more and higher customizability with this version. And let's just kick it off with our Instagram poll. At the time of this review, it's been going on for about 14 hours. And so far, a lot of people do not like the look of this pack. This poll will be over by the time this review is launched, but we'd love to have you around for the next one, as aesthetic is so subjective and we love to get other people's thoughts on it as well. Personally, I think it's great. I love the minimalism. I love the way that it looks and the modularity here, but most of the audience disagrees with my opinion. From a branding perspective, you won't see a ton from Black Ember on this thing. It's got that kind of letterpressed, indented logo, but again, it's black on black, so it's tasteful and not really that noticeable. It's pretty much a black box, maintains its shape pretty well, and it's rigid. So it's a 900 denier, 3-layer micro hex fabric. So that's a lot of fancy wording, and I'm gonna throw some more fancy words at you. It's an IP6 approved material, which is basically one step down from being completely waterproof. There are also YKK AquaGuard zippers that help with additional weather resistance. With Black Ember, we can say with a lot of confidence that this is one of the most weatherproof bags that we've tested to date, and they actually use that word correctly. And onto some of the main features that make this pack modular, we have these laser cut attachment points going on here, and those are very precise. That's what's gonna be used to attach a lot of these accessories you see going on the outside of the bag. We found them to look pretty good, but better when you actually have something attached. When they are not attached, it kind of just looks like some weird tabs on the bag. And we found with actual usage and testing, these things can start to become a little bit looser. So the material is definitely strong. Just something to note, there's a little bit of stretching that happens in the break-in period. And there are a ton of other materials going on in this pack that are worth a mention. There's Hypalon that's been used for zipper pulls and on other areas of the pack. This was originally used in military grade rafts. There is aircraft grade aluminum. I mean, really, it's aircraft grade. I'm kind of just joking around. Some of their marketing spiel is pretty serious, and you don't need all this on the pack, but it's definitely over-spec'd, and it goes along with the Black Ember brand. So everything is solid. All their material choices are really great. There's EVA foam on the straps and the back panel. There's polyurethane for additional weather resistance, and there's ITW hardware and plastic buckles. And lastly, magnetic fidlock hardware that's used on some of the attachment points of the modular systems and on some of the straps, like the sternum strap. All this stuff comes together and makes quite a heavy carrying experience though, without any of the additional attachments added to the pack. It comes in at 3.8 pounds when empty. This is quite a bit heavier than a lot of other bags that we have tested as well. There is a ton to cover in the external components, so let's dive right into all of them. Starting with the harness system, the back panel is slightly curved, which for me personally, being a taller person with a bit of a longer torso, I kind of found that this bottom part stuck into the small of my back a little bit more. You can tighten up these load lifters to get it a little bit closer to the upper side of your back, and that's what the curve is designed to do, right? It's designed to hug your back, basically the curve of your back. For me, it didn't work out quite as well, but for others, it may work out better. I had the same problem with the Air Travel Pack 1. Your mileage may vary depending on your body type. And speaking about the top Velcro part of the strap too, that's gonna allow you to adjust where the padding is. So if you tighten this up, put this a little bit closer, that's gonna come up closer to your back. If you have a different load, different body type, you wanna loosen that up a little bit, you can handle that as well, depending on how you wanna wear the pack. It's awesome that they have this customizability here without adding bulky load lifters that would then also add additional straps that would just kind of fly around or need to be managed in some way. So that is a great feature, great way to kind of have that adjustability without adding a bunch of extra stuff. The straps themselves, however, seem to be a bit of overkill. There is high density foam on the outside of this thing and really padded straps here. Decently comfortable. When you have it on, it kind of feels like the pack is a little far away from your chest. Sort of looks like you're wearing like a life jacket or something, like you're going jet skiing or something like that. Personally, don't love the look of these, and I think it feels a little bit weird. However, they are comfortable, and I understand why all that padding has been added here. The good thing about these straps is that they are hideable if needed via this triangular buckle going on here. So you just unclip these, easily hide those excess straps if you want to have this in a mode other than backpack mode. Two things that I love about the bottom of these straps. The first is that the triangular buckle rotates 360 degrees, which ensures that your straps will never be tangled. Secondly, they manage the straps really nicely with the plastic hardware here as well. You don't have a bunch of extra strappage dangling around. So moving on to the sternum strap, it works pretty well. There is a fidlock buckle here that's not only satisfying, but it's quick to unbuckle, especially with one hand. The sternum strap can easily slide off the attachment rail though. These two buttons near the top are placed there to help mitigate that. However, the rail kind of runs out a little bit earlier than you'd expect, so it's easy to slide that sternum strap off. I think I can actually do it right now. So if you just pull this, there you go. It's off quite easily. Didn't even have to unbutton that. The idea is great, but in execution, it's a little bit easier to remove than I'd prefer. Also, there's room on this pack at the bottom for a hip belt. It's stealthy. You can easily attach that if you'd like and stow it away, which is great. However, I don't know if you need a hip belt with a pack of this size. Your mileage may vary. Also, speaking of things that fall off the bag quite easily, these side compression buckles going on here, quite easy to pull off. We actually lost one of these in testing. It just fell off the pack in actual usage. This is some slick thinking and it's easy to attach and remove. However, it's just a little bit too easy to remove. If you are going to use these compression straps, we'd recommend keeping these tightly buckled as often as possible so you can continually pull this buckle up towards that side that has the thicker attachment point as opposed to the thinner. So when it's just free floating like this, it can easily get jostled around, come off of that thinner area quite easily. All right, and now onto the main event of this pack, the part that makes it so great, and that's the customizability and modularity of all the different accessories and pouches you can put on the outside of this thing to your heart's desire. So let's start with all the stuff that we've got. First off, all these accessories attach in a similar fashion. There's a magnet attachment point, which again is made by Fidlock. This magnetic attachment stays attached very well, and it's also still very easy to remove when you need it, as long as you pull it in the right direction. There's also a plastic prong that slides into the laser cut webbing and then clips in for a more permanent attachment. Overall, this is a slick system and it's fast enough to detach, but permanent enough to stay on your backpack without you worrying about it every 2 seconds and checking to make sure that it hasn't fallen off. And just to note, a lot of the smaller accessories and smaller pouches are a little bit easier to attach on this system than say larger accessories like the sports pack that we'll check out. Onto the attachment points, starting with the handle on the top. You can also get multiple handles if you want to fix them to either side of this pack, which is a great option if you like to be able to grab your bag from all angles. Pretty straightforward, just attaches via the aluminum boulder hook. Starting off with the small admin pouch on the exterior, we've got one here, and then we've also got one attached to the exterior of this pack. There are 2 D-rings on the back of this thing that you can use to attach a strap so you can carry this thing independently that Black Ember also sells. This folds out from the magnetic Fidlock buckle. There are spaces for 2 pens, pencils, or styluses. On the other side of the flap opening, there's a small flat pocket on the exterior. The entire pocket opens up clamshell style to showcase additional organization options. And then we have the large admin pouch going on here. This features a magnetic flap closure, however, no Fidlock buckle. Again, there are D-rings so you can carry this independently. When flapped open, you have a zip pocket and a smaller divider pocket. Also, this opens up clamshell style to reveal a bunch of additional organization options. Just note that none of these pockets on the exterior of the pack are elastic and they don't offer any additional give or stretch. So you're gonna have to find something in here that fits really well into this pocket. If it's too small, it might jostle around. And if it's too large, it simply won't fit. There's also the M&M pouch that we've got going on right here on the exterior. A singular D-ring is featured at the top so you can use a shoulder strap with this thing. There are 2 small pockets on the side. Again, pens and pencils work well here. It opens up with one of those maglock Fidlocks by pulling down. There are 2 divider pockets on the inside. Overall, this is just kind of a pouch. Also, we have an option for a sport pack that covers the entirety of the exterior of the pack. Can't put it on right now. All this stuff needs to be removed. However, it does take up that full size on the exterior. There's a compression strap on the exterior with a fidlock, can help cinch that down a little bit. There's a swishy nylon ripstop-like material, and there is a split pocket on the front, and then this opens up fully clamshell style. It's kind of like a mini backpack or a mini day pack that can go on the exterior of your pack. Again, this is great for separating things that you don't want in the main liter capacity of your bag, say like gym clothes, shoes, anything like that you just want to keep separate. So those are the accessories that we have. Additionally, there is a DSLR mod for your camera gear. Shoulder straps are the admin pouches so you can walk around and use them independently. Utility straps so you can strap things to the outside. On the website, they've got a water bottle pictured. Not sure if I really trust that to hold my water bottle. Your water bottle will definitely have to be like an exact shape for that to work. And then there is an SR strap that features cam locks to fasten down anything that's heavier. So again, that is the biggest draw of this pack. If you want to get nerdy, figure out exactly what you want to carry where, and have systems for a lot of your different stuff and be able to attach and detach, this could be a great pack if you're really into that kind of stuff. From a configuration standpoint, there is so much that you can do with this thing as well. On the Black Ember Kickstarter page, there's a bunch of different samples on how their team is utilizing these packs. So everybody has a little bit of a story to go along with it and reasons as to why they selected the pack and the configuration that they did. So we love that. We love that there are examples to use as jumping off points. However, you can do whatever you see fit with these bags. Moving on to the interior of the pack, there are 2 pockets going on here. Let's start with the one on the back. So this is a lay flat pocket, good for maps, flatter items, or things that you want to keep secure, like your passport while you're traveling. In that backing, there are 2 aluminum stays that help with that curved frame sheet and shape. This pack opens up fully clamshell style, and if you look at the details near the zippers, you won't see a lot of stitching, and that's because a lot of the attachment points and where they pull things together are bonded with heat and not traditional stitching. This creates a strong seal and is again great for that additional water resistance. Moving on to the interior of this pack, let's start with the top flap. On the front flap of the pack, there's basically a pocket that goes down in the entirety of the front of the pack. Then you've got 2 places for pens, pencils, styluses, and 2 additional pockets here that are about equidistant in width. And with these pockets, it's great that they have these Velcro straps going on, which is really helpful. Again, there's no stretchiness, so if you have something that's a little bit smaller, that can stay locked in a little bit easier as you're opening this thing and closing it. On the bottom as well, we have a zippered mesh pocket. There's not a ton of depth in this pocket, so again, that's good for smaller, more flexible items. And onto the main compartment of this pack, we have this stiff optional frame divider going on here. There are more permanent attachment points on the bottom, and the top features fidlock, so it's easily removable. You can take it off, pivot it around, compress it down based on what you want to have inside of your pack. We think it's supposed to be flat, however, ours is curved a little bit over time and through usage of the pack. Also, there's a pocket on the front that's good for holding a tablet. If we unclip this, we can get access to the back organizers as well. Back here, we've got a padded compartment for our laptop, and that's accessible via a horseshoe zipper towards the back of the pack, so you can easily slide your laptop in and out. There are 3 equally sized pockets on the front here as well, and then 1 Velcro strap on that middle area as well. Again, these pockets are not stretchy, which is a bit of a bummer depending on what you want to put inside of the pack. There's a keychain ring at the top here, which again has that really satisfying fidlock buckle going on here. And lastly, a similar zippered mesh divider pocket that doesn't have a ton of depth, but's good for additional organization. So yeah, a ton of organization going on both on the inside of this pack and the exterior with all the mods. Normally, we recommend using pouches to further organize your gear inside of your bag. However, with this one, we're not really gonna recommend that because there is enough areas where you can kind of tweak different size pockets, things that you can just really kind of start to fill out and organize based on the system that you wanna go with. At the time of this review, we've been testing this pack for about a month of actual real world usage. So far, it's held up really well. There's not a lot of exterior scuffs or dings, and it's been highly resistant to weather and other moisture. In actual usage, we found that this thing was somewhat over-engineered, and it's also heavy. However, we love the thinking that went on here, and we really have to give credit to Black Ember, who's doing a lot of things here that are unique and well thought out. They're definitely pushing the backpack industry forward, which we really appreciate. Lastly, we almost lost the sternum strap. Luckily, it was locked into the fidlock magnetically, so we didn't lose that side of it. We also lost one ITW buckle on the exterior. Better to just take these off completely unless the compression straps are in use. So to wrap this thing up with some pros and cons, there is some really smart design and high customizability going on with this pack. There's incredible attention to the technical details, and a lot of the materials used are great. There's high weatherproofness, some of the highest that we've tested on any pack to date. On to some of the cons, it's heavy without any of the attached accessories. It comes in at 3.8 pounds empty. The harness system design is not ideal. The curved back doesn't work for everybody with every body type, and the straps are quite puffy on the front. The exterior attachment points for the sternum strap and the compression strap buckles aren't super well done, and it's easy for things to fall off of the pack. If you're looking for a well thought out modular pack that uses a ton of great materials, the Black Ember Citadel Modular could be right up your alley. Although we find it heavy and over-engineered in some areas, we appreciate all the thinking that went into the design, and it really pushes the envelope on what a backpack can be. This is a great combination for the person that's willing to learn a complicated pack and system and is really picky about what they carry and how they carry it. Thanks for taking a look at our review on the Black Ember Modular Citadel. Be sure to head over to packhacker.com/newsletter, sign up for that newsletter, and never miss an update. We'll see you in the next video. Reviews and guides. Oops.